So get this, guys.
Because God gave us this country. Our founding fathers fought and died for this country. Generations of Americans have sacrificed and bled for this country. And we are not going to let the radical left, the communists, and the America haters take our country. It's not going to happen. Not now, not ever.
This message goes to all the maggots, all these fucking Trump supporters. Do you know who Stephen Miller is? I'm going to tell you a little bit. Son of an immigrant. Son of a Jewish immigrant. Yet, he's racist, misogynist, classist, fucking scumbag and cuck of a human fucking being. He's the one responsible for bankrolling everything Donald Trump is doing. In fact, the signal message, you remember those? I think fucking not. This motherfucking bitch is out here approving these attacks on Yemen, approving these attacks overseas. No word from Trump. He says the president says yes. He said the president says, bitch, he doesn't even talk to the president. He's your fucking president, a motherfucking billionaire, and the guy that you really should be fucking mad at, except you want to suck his fucking smegma out his dick. You bitch ass motherfucker. Fuck you. Fuck these Trump supporters and fuck these maggots, bitch.
News, Stephen Miller, Deputy Chief of Staff to Donald Trump, has between $100,000 and $250,000 worth of Palantir stock in his child's account that has just been discovered. Why is this a big deal? Palantir is the company that ICE is using to help with all these deportations and with tracking immigrants. In addition, Palantir is the same company that they're now looking to build this massive tracking system for all of us using our personal data.
Good morning. So I just want to talk about President Stephen Miller's immigration policy for a second, just to get a grasp on what's actually happening here. So during the campaign, you know, they had these mass deportation signs, and Trump lied to everybody saying that millions and millions of, you know, illegal immigrants came here, you know, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, whatever lie they said, and they're all voting in the election, which is also a lie because they never vote. They actually pay taxes, but they don't actually get any services for that. But regardless of that, they lied about that, of course, because they lied about everything. So when Stephen Miller's ICE team, President Miller's ICE team, went to meet their quotas and arrest illegal immigrants, they couldn't find as many, so they didn't meet their quotas. And that led President Miller to have a temper tantrum and yell at them, say that they should be raiding Home Depots and doing all this stuff just to find any immigrants. So now you literally have people, you know, you guys used to say that, you know, oh, we support legal immigration, not illegal immigration. So now you have people that are going to their immigration hearings, and they've been in the country legally for years, doing the right thing, showing up to every hearing, filling out all the paperwork, paying all the, you know, the fees and everything to be legal, and they were legal. But we have people when their visas being canceled, their immigration status being canceled. We have them showing up to their hearings. We have ICE agents literally calling them and saying, hey, come in for a hearing today, and then they arrest them when they're here legally.
We have some big news right now. According to the Wall Street Journal, Donald Trump previously said that if it was up to Stephen Miller, his White House Deputy Chief of Staff, there would only be 100 million people in the United States of America, and they would all look like Miller. Miller is a white guy. In this new explosive report from the Wall Street Journal, it cites a number of White House colleagues of Miller's who are becoming increasingly alarmed at the legal maneuvers he is taking to conduct mass deportation efforts. And Donald Trump himself, according to the Journal, has even ribbed Miller for being, quote, too happy when deporting undocumented migrants from America. But I want you to read this passage with me. He has the president's complete trust. Trump's complained about everyone, never him. Trump may not complain about Mr. Miller, but he does occasionally poke at his obsession with immigrants, a hostility that goes far beyond Mr. Trump's. In one meeting during the 2024 campaign, Trump said that if it was up to Miller, there would be only 100 million people in this country, and they would all look like Miller. This is the man Trump is putting in responsible for most of the policy in America.
Stephen Miller, the political advisor for Donald Trump, is in a lot of hot water. Well, it seems like a lot of things he is saying is basically he wants America to be white and white alone. Now, this isn't just comments that he made. It is something that the president, Donald Trump himself, has said. It seems everybody around Stephen Miller are all expressing their thoughts and beliefs that Stephen Miller, when it comes to immigration, is very, very, very ruthless and very brutal in doing things. He owns companies, or he has investments in companies that are overseeing or paying ICE, which is the agency that is doing a lot of these deportations. The word that is going around is that Stephen Miller would like the United States of America to be around 100 million people in population, and all of them to look like him. Basically, his dream America is to be 100 million people, with 100 million of those people being white. Now, this is very wrong on many, many stages. Now, his stance on immigration is also insane when you realize that his family, not so long ago, actually immigrated to the United States of America. Now, he is, as they say, of Jewish heritage, which would mean that perhaps his family came over during the war, over to America to run and get away from what was happening in World War II. And now he himself is creating or supposedly wants to create a country in which expels everybody out of the country which isn't white. Anytime people say such things, it's really crazy to me, because when you think of how the United States formed, it formed from a few colonies, of course, from the British, people like that. Then it took the land from somebody else, and I know what you're going to say. Hey, well, the Europeans conquered the natives. But the reality is the Europeans, they signed many, many treaties with the natives, treaties that stated that they themselves saw this territory or that territory as native territory. They then went behind the natives' back and against those treaties and took the land anyway. There's actually a very famous one also, where there was a native war chief in Florida, in modern day Florida, and the Europeans were having big struggle actually trying to take him down. The Americans, as you would say, had troubles taking him down. So what they did was they invited him for some type of meeting. Upon his arrival, they arrested him and locked him up. It's seen as one of the biggest acts of cowardice, even by Americans themselves, in basically military history. So for them to be talking so much about immigration when America was built on that, and then it was built further, let's be honest, on the backs of Africans, South Americans, Native Americans, other native South Americans, and then even the Chinese. The Chinese, of course, were fundamental in building a lot of the train tracks over there. So America is a diverse place. It is a diverse place built on the backs of many, many, many different types of people. So to make a comment talking about, make America white again, or make America, this, that, or the other, is very, it doesn't really make sense, especially when it's coming from a guy who himself, his family recently just emigrated. Now, a lot of people are praising him because, of course, they're saying he praises God and things like that. But America, when they praise God, they are, of course, talking about Christianity. This guy is not a Christian. So if you're looking at him and viewing him as somebody who is praising God or doing God's work, he is not of the Christianity faith. He is of the Jewish faith. Not that there's whatever thing wrong with that, but for all these Christians that are throwing themselves, these white Christians who are throwing themselves at this guy, he does not even believe in the things that you believe. And like I say, he is deporting huge amounts of people. He wants huge amounts of people deported. And it's just a very funny thing, especially when you think about it, that he himself is the son of immigrants. He himself, under his own laws that he is trying to pass, would not even get into the United States of America. He himself, if people in America had those types of laws during World War II and prior, his people would not have even been able to get in to the United States. So it's funny to see that people of immigrants are trying to basically pass laws which would have seen their own parents, their own grandparents banned from entering a country they supposedly want to make pure this or pure that. It really makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. You can see why a lot of people are angry. I mean, especially when you start to say things like, or start to act in a way where you want America to be pure this or pure that, especially when America was built on the backs of immigration. It was built off the backs of Africans, like I say, natives. It was built off the backs of many, many types of people. America would not be what it is today if it was just, like, say, plain white people. Plain white people did not build America. It was many, many peoples that built it. So even that kind of comment, that kind of thought process makes no real kind of sense. But you can see why a lot of people are very, very angry. These types of guys, they make no sense. These types of guys do not even care about the white people either. Like, they care about their own small groups, their own small elite groups, and that is it. They'll use the white vote, they'll use the MAGA vote to get themselves in power. But outside of that, they don't really care about anybody else apart from themselves and their small elite group, and that's it. But like I say, America is a very, very weird place in many ways, because you can have a group of, let's say, white supremacists talking about, let's make America great again, let's make America white again. America was never white. It was never built by just whites. Like I say, it was, you could just, to make it simpler, it was a group project, and now one of those people in that group wants to take the mass amount of credit for everything, basically. It's really crazy in many ways, but it's even crazier to think the kind of people that actually make it into politics. I mean, if you look at a lot of people in politics now, and you look at it and you look at some of the things they say, some of the things they do, how they act, or how they react, it really does lead one to wonder how such people actually made it into power, which could also paint the picture really of that the people in power are not actually in power, and that it's people hidden above them that are in power. Because if you think about it, if you are a true person who is in power, and you have to put, let's say, a false leader in charge, you're not going to put somebody who, you're not going to put Marcus Aurelius, that type of person in charge. You're not going to put an incredible leader in charge. You're going to put somebody who's, not all there, not all this, not all that, and not just in a leading position, but in other positions. You're going to put those you can surely control, or those you can miss. But for this guy, I'm not sure. He really, I don't know, to be the son of immigrants and then be that hard on immigration, it really doesn't make any kind of sense, other than maybe pushing the narrative of trying to get a certain voter to vote for you. You go all out in one space, one group of people, in the hopes that they will vote for you, keep you in a position of power, and keep you favored by the president, that kind of thing. But makes no sense really. It's such a weird thing to say, such a weird thing to do, but people fall for it. You can see in the comments of many videos of this guy, they throw themselves at his feet. They really think that he is for them. So I believe even he may be a billionaire, which any time you amass that amount of money, there's no way that these types of people care about the day-to-day people in any way, shape or form. That's the truth. That's the bottom line. As Stone Cold would have said, it is what it is. But that's today's video. If you have your own thoughts, if you have your own comments, let me know in the comment section below. If you're a supporter of his, Let me know in the comments below why you think he's a good person, this person, who knows. But anyway, this has been Reaction Cole. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.